Hello students, this is Professor Faiz Raut from Jain College of Engineering, Department of MBA. I am in subject Legal and Business Environment in Module 4, Part 2 continued. Students, today I am going to talk about SWOT analysis of Indian economy. Well students, you know what is a SWOT analysis. The strengths and the weaknesses which are internal to Indian economy, we are going to discuss that. And the opportunities and threats which are external, how it affects our Indian economy. Well, students, if I talk about strength, the main strength that comes to my mind is great workforce. India has a huge population, and that huge population is very young, and it's a combination of unskilled labor, skilled laborers, and educated professionals. And also, India has a great fertile land, so many kinds of crop can be grown in India, and it has a diverse nature, and Indians have a large English speaking population, so many Western countries can easily come in India and do business. Whereas weakness, the major weakness of India is about poverty. About quarter of the population, more than 25% of Indians are below poverty line. And in spite of a good education, there is a high unemployment rate. There is a inequality problem. There is poor infrastructure, low productivity, and low resources. There is very much shortage of resources, and the major problem is about unequal distribution of wealth. There is a huge gap between the major rich people and the poor people. So that is the main weaknesses of Indian economy. If we can come up with solution of removing these weaknesses, then we can grow our economy very well. Whereas for the opportunities, in 1991 when Indian economy got opened and there was a permission for foreign direct investment in our economy, slowly but steadily foreign direct investment started in India, but it took pace after the year 2000. And in many sectors there is FDI inflow, but there are few sectors in which FDI for 100% is not still allowed. So there is an opportunity for FDI to increase, because as there is a large domestic market, foreign companies can come here for doing business. They can create employment opportunities, as well as they'll get a good consumer market in India. As there are good agricultural resources, fisheries, plants, crops, and livestock, so many businesses can be carried out in India. So a huge opportunity is there. Whereas threats, now as India is open economy, India is connected with various countries. So if there is a hit in a global economy, if there is a recession or depression in global economy, this could easily affect the Indian economy. And the volatility in crude oil prices also is a great threat for Indian economy, as India is a huge importer of crude oil, and because of population explosion and dependency on monsoon, these are the various threats of Indian economy. And Indian economy is majorly into fiscal deficit. Always the government spending is more than the revenue of government. So these are the major threats of Indian economy. But if I want to talk about strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, there are few strengths, few weaknesses, few opportunities, and few threats which are very much important than this list. If I start one by one, the greatest strength of India is that it is a land of solar power and renewable energy technologies. Students, India, the strategic location of India is such that it falls just below the equator, and Tropic of Capricorn passes through India. By this, I mean the climatic condition of India is very favorable, and almost 12 months around the year, around 365 days, companies can run in India very smoothly. Indian people can carry out agricultural activities smoothly. And because of intense heat in India, there is a huge scope of using solar power. The first point goes, India's youth is both educated and in right position to learn variety of skills. There is a strengthening of tech space in India. Indians blend well into Western culture in terms of temperament and attitude. India is fully self sufficient in food production. Students, when we got our independence in 1947, India was not fully self sufficient in food production. We used to import food products from the foreign countries. But later on, after the good focus on agricultural activities with the help of green revolution, with the help of white revolution which took place, India became self sufficient in food production. And finally, India uses solar and renewable energy very efficiently, but still there is a huge scope in increasing this solar and renewable energy resources. So this is the major strength I find of Indian economy. Whereas the major weakness, if I talk about, is that the country is stricken by poverty. Despite we have food sufficiency in India, India holds world's second largest poor people after Nigeria, and this poor people don't have access to basic food every day. And there are many people in India who die because of lack of food. If I talk about World Bank estimate, poverty in India is calculated as a person who is earning less than $1.9 a day in 2015. So it comes around in 2015 it was somewhere around 130 rupees. If a person is earning less than 130 rupees, then he is counted as poor. So as per this estimate, more than 25% of Indians are poor. Second point is, top 1% owns 58% of India's wealth in the country. That means out of 130 crore people, only 1% owns more than 50% of India's wealth. Third point is, the richest 10% in India controls 80% of nation wealth, and the remaining 90% of Indians has only 20% of nation's wealth. So the distribution of wealth in India is not proper, and there is a huge gap between rich and poor as compared to the world estimates. Last point is, this weakness can be removed by education and employment. If there is proper education facility provided to each and every household, and a good employment opportunity is being created, this divide between rich and poor can be eliminated. Next is opportunities. First major opportunity is to create an acceptable living standards for India. As I was talking about poverty, India in 1994 had about 45% of people below poverty line, and it has been reduced to around 25% in 2012. But these people who are still below who have been removed from the poverty still lacks the basic necessities like water, sanitation, energy, housing, education, healthcare, and good nutrition. So all these basic amenities of life is not there for more than 50% of Indians. So there is a huge opportunity to increase the standard of living for all the Indians. And as the urbanization has been increasing, people are migrating to many cities from rural area. It is estimated that 69 Indian cities on an average will have more than 10 lakh people each in 2025 as per McKinsey's estimates. So there should be a good sustainable urbanization, a good infrastructure should be built, a clean water and air should be provided, and extensive green spaces should also be available, so that the health of a urban Indian should be maintained, and there should be a sustainable urbanization. Next is manufacturing, which I talked about in last lecture. There is a great scope in manufacturing for India, and India is lagging behind as India has the potential. India has skilled and unskilled laborers. Education is there, so India can grow in manufacturing sector as well. Next is riding the digital wave, harnessing technology for India's growth. Definitely, India is very good in adopting technology, but this technology has not reached to many people. Only a handful of people uses this technology. So this technology has a good opportunity to reach even far off in rural areas in India. Last is unlocking potential of Indian women. As per the world estimates, around 40% of women work globally, whereas in India, the contribution of women in India's GDP is only about 17%, and the workforce of women is about 24%. As if we are comparing with globally, it is 40%. So there is a huge scope of Indian women coming for the workforce or in the contribution of GDP as well. If I go for the last one, which is threats, the main threat is hypertension, which is affecting 40% of India's youth. No doubt, India is a young country. The average age of Indian is 35 years of age, but this young Indian is suffering from hypertension. More than 40% of India's youth is fighting hypertension, and hypertension is the cause of over 30% of Indians' death each year. And these are some of the reasons, like work pressure, low work-life balance, competition at workplace, and more importantly, consumption of improper diet. All these reasons has caused an increase in hypertension in Indian youth. And as per the estimates, the a steady growing population is another problem. At the moment, India is the second in terms of population, and India is expected to beat China's population by 2023. And there is, if you go on Google and just check, there is a very small gap in the population of China and population of India. So if this hypertension issue is not catered, if it is not taken care, then India will be a country which will have a huge hypertension problem in youth. And this problem can be reduced by having a good diet and a good hobby. A good hobby can reduce the problem of hypertension in India, and this threat can be reduced. So this was about SWOT analysis of Indian economy. Thank you for listening.